Hello. We are live at the holler. It's MJ, me, Donna Sue,
Hi.
and Warring that way. And today we're going to do some homesteading. And
Homesteading.
Warring is going to teach us how to make healthy chocolate milk.
It's insane how healthy it is. I mean, I milked my goats fresh this morning and I let it chill because it's 105 degrees here today. No way in heck I'm going to use fresh goat's milk without chilling it. So just a moment. I'm going to go down my semi-trailer. That's right. I'm in a semi-trailer kitchen. I'm going to go get my chocolate milk or my milk to do this chocolate thing.
I'm all about chocolate milk, people. I just want to say that while she's away. I want to talk about how much I like chocolate milk.
Not only that, her chocolate milk is the bomb. I've had it.
You had it.
Absolutely.
I'm jealous.
I stay out there.
I'm jealous.
I get lost out there. It's fun.
Oh, she's back.
There she is.
This is a quart of white gold.
What kind of milk is that?
This is, yeah. So this is raw goat's milk from one of my Alpine girls that we milk every day. This is the same milk that goes in my soap, and it's raw, meaning we don't pasteurize it at all. So it's full of probiotics, prebiotics, amazing nutrients right in there. So you're going to get yourself a measuring cup. Usually I do all this by just eyeballing. But we got to shake this up because the cream does separate a little bit. Not like cow's milk, though. So we're going to measure about 2 cups in there.
Look at that creamy milk. Is it thick? You know, I've never had it raw like that, all shook up, and then I've never had it like that.
You know what? It's not really thick. It's just this normal consistency of what you would get in the grocery store. The difference is it's not pasteurized, meaning it's not heated to take away all of the wonderful benefits and the nutrients in there. The reason why commercial dairies do pasteurize is to kill any kind of pathogens that might exist. When you're working with, large dairies, these little snakes can get in everywhere. The bugs can contaminate gallons and gallons of milk. I personally only hand milk right now because I've only got 3 girls in milk, so it's easy for me to control. And everything gets sterilized before and after. So it's, my steel buckets, there's specific equipment, and we have a teat dipper. So we dip the teats in before we milk them. You strip the girls to make sure there's no mud or muck on their teats. So there we go. Fresh goat's milk, 2 cups. Now I'm going to talk to you about chocolate. All right. This is fair trade, organic chocolate. And this is farmed responsibly. And I'll tell you why I buy products like this. It helps support the local economy down where this is grown. So we're talking, I think this is South America.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I try and source things where the local economy is benefiting from companies like this instead of big corporations like Nestle that just go in and rape the land for whatever products they're after, be it coffee. This, I believe, is partially shade grown, but it's a superfood, so it's high in magnesium.
Oh,
and I'll tell you why that's important for people like me. Number 1, autoimmune disorder and inflammatory disease. Also, going through menopause. Yeah, I'm going to say that. I don't care. I'm very transparent.
I'm with you. I mean, not at menopause, but I someday will be soon.
It's part of the journey of being a woman, right?
Right.
So
nothing embarrassing about that.
Nothing at all. I'm not embarrassed. I think my kids are more embarrassed, and they're not going to have grandchildren because I told them the name that I want to be called when I do become a grandmother, and so they're horrified.
What is it?
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. I love it. Can I start calling
Baba Yaga? You need to look up the story of Baba Yaga, and then you'll understand why.
Oh, okay.
She was a witch in the woods.
Well, wow. You know what mine called me? Mojo.
Mojo, I love it. I totally dig that. So we did a tablespoon Fair trade all the way. You bet it. You bet, babe. Tablespoon of that. And then for sweetener, because I can't do sugar, the inflammatory disease, I use stevia. And you can get it pre-made. All right. And you can pick this up. Grocery stores now carry this. You can get it at a natural grocer. You can get it at a supermarket. You can order it online. This is just regular stevia, pure extract. It's quite inexpensive, and a little goes a long way.
Right.
And it doesn't have the aftertaste that aspartame and all those other weird sweeteners have. I know that a lot of people do paleo, and they'll do like that weird xylitol or something. I don't do well on that. So we just fill the dropper about halfway full. Pour that in there. I feel like an alchemist. It's like
I'm getting
here in my lab, my apocalypse food lab. Now, here is the special equipment that you need. You can do this in a blender. You can also use an egg whisk. So this isn't necessary. It just makes it really super yummy. Stick that in, turn it on low, and you're going to basically turn it on and just let it blend. You have to make faces.
Okay. I'm good at that.
Yeah, because you're a mad apocalypse food lab scientist.
Right.
Yeah. That's what we're doing right now. This is survival. You got to have your chocolate milk. Now, I'm going to be civilized because usually I'll drink it. Screw it, I'm not. I'm just going to drink it.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm jealous. Can you pass me some of that, please?
I'll go like this. Yes. See my nails.
So stevia is really good if you cook the herb. That looks amazing. I'm so jealous. And you got your mustache.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's hot here. It's like melting off already.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just talking about the stevia and how you can just take the stems of the herb and put it in your tea. It's wonderful. So good.
It's great to grow.
It's delicious.
It's easy to grow too. I mean, in your neck of the woods, it would be grown as an annual, but it's so highly beneficial to have. I mean, to have a natural sweetener like that, my goodness, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So that's basically that in a nutshell. When you don't live close to rural America and you can't find raw goat's milk, do the best you can to source out the best milk you can. I've had children who have had ADHD have this chocolate milk. They can't tell the difference. You know, when your kid wants some sugar, it's amazing. I mean, it's the healthiest thing that I have found. It tastes like a milkshake.
Right.
It's fantastic. And it's so funny because I actually published a video on this, about this recipe on Instagram, because one of my friends from Los Angeles was like, you should totally do a cooking show. You're such an amazing cook. I'm like, my recipes take like forever because I start in the morning, like sourdough, for instance, right? They take forever. How am I going to do this? So I was like, just to make fun of her, but to also appease her appetite for me doing a cooking show, I was like, fine, I'm just going to do a chocolate milk recipe.
It would probably be a series.
Yeah.
The what?
Like a series where you start your sourdough in one episode, and then in the next episode, you're going to the next step or whatever.
Right. Well, I've got sourdough starter in my fridge right now. I have 3 jars always on hand. So when I need to make my own bread, when there's nothing at the grocery store, I've got my yeast starter. I just take it out of the fridge and feed it, let it sit for about 24 hours, and then start proofing my bread. And in another 24 hours, I've got a sourdough loaf. And I'll tell you what the benefits are of sourdough. I'm belching chocolate milk.
Does that fill you up, that chocolate milk? It looks like
man. Usually I drink like the whole thing. I drank like half of it. I don't think I can finish it today.
It looks like it would be like really filling.
It is. Well, I also ate some of this. I don't know if you can see back there. There's a loaf of cinnamon bread.
Ooh.
I'll bring it closer.
Oh, she's gonna torture us with cinnamon bread now.
Oh man, I didn't make this because I don't do sweets.
Here on the holler.
Right? Look at that. So what I did is I grew tomatoes in our hoop house, and I traded them with one of our neighbors. So I bartered. And she baked me bread. She brought me 2 loaves, one sweet loaf and one just regular. And so, yeah, I came home today after running errands, and I was starving. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna scrape the sugar off the top. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The benefits of growing food for your neighbors, they pay you back with good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
That reminds me of my childhood, my dad trading for stuff like all the time, everything.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we need more of that. It's really such a shame that what has been happening with our economy and our country during this lockdown. So many people not able to be resourceful and come together to do just that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
our neighborhood has though.
Yeah,
that's right.
We've done some serious trading, and actually a guy, Todd, makes sourdough bread. So he's gave us sourdough bread, and then we have a wine guy that and we have.
I remember that wine guy.
A little bit of trading around.
I call him the wine knight.
Yeah, well, I remember that story too. He was knighted.
Yes,
in Portugal, I believe. Yes, we know a knight. But yeah, so resourced right here. And the video that I did, it was funny because I sell my chicken eggs to my community just to keep everything flowing. And one of my egg customers was like, "How do I get chocolate milk?" He texts me right after that. And I'm like, "Why are you spying on me?" So he came over for chocolate milk. I can't legally sell my milk.
The last watermelon juice for today.
Watermelon juice.
So
I'm drinking carbonated water.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't know that that's good for me. But
here, I'm gonna do this again.
Not a sponsor. Bubbly's not a sponsor.
Yum.
Oh yeah.
You know what I miss at the mornings with you and the cup of tea with the goat. It's so good.
You put goat's milk in cup of tea. Ah.
Yep. Yeah. I miss that. I actually we do that in the afternoons now, and we usually ice it. So we traded tea. We're doing this intermittent fasting thing, and we decided to give the bulletproof coffee thing a go just to see if it helped with my inflammation and helped me wake up better. No, it doesn't help me wake up better. I still feel like falling asleep when I wake up. I'm like
the keto oil or whatever, that oily
MCT or
MCT.
MCT, right? It's MCTs, and it's grass-fed butter. Yep. And mold-free coffee. Like all these components that go in it are supposed to be the best of the best and semi-hypoallergenic, I guess, so that your body doesn't go through an allergic response.
Oh, cool.
And it's the first day I got sick, it was so strong. I'm like, I want my tea back. I want my goat's milk back. But I stuck with it. And yeah, the benefit is I don't normally have to eat until 1 o'clock. So I can go out after my cup of coffee and do all the goat chores and all the animals and whatnot. And yeah, without having to.
A lot of people use the Kerrygold.
Yep, Kerrygold. I've been looking. So my big animal vet did have dairy cattle, but they're not milking this year. I used to get milk from them and make our own butter, but I haven't found a high belly. I haven't found a local source for cow's milk yet. And goats, you're supposed to be able to make goat's butter, but my girls don't produce enough butter fat in their milk. There's certain breeds of goats that produce more cream in their milk than others. Even though I have mostly French Alpine bloodlines in my goats, they're kind of goat mutts, if you will.
Oh, so okay.
Right. So I've got a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of Boer in their bloodline. So it's not as creamy as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cream doesn't separate in goat's milk like it does in cow's milk.
Donna Sue, you need to address your friends. Thank you. We need
a goat. Remember?
I got you, goat.
One morning we woke up at Billy's house and there was a pig out in the yard. Do you remember that, Billy? Big pig.
Oh my God. Just a wild pig hanging out.
Yeah. Hanging
in the
out.
Mountains. Like,
Yeah.
hey. He was ready for some bulletproof coffee. There's my coffee. He brought the bacon. He was waiting for the coffee.
Right.
God. So that's that recipe. I'm going to finish this.
Okay. Well, I know I want some of that. We got to find some locally sourced
jealous.
stuff now. I mean, we do have Chesapeake's Bounty, not a sponsor, but we like them. And Chesapeake's Bounty, they have 2 locations, one in North Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, North Beach, yes. And the other down this way, south, and St. Leonard. But you can get locally sourced and grown foods. They're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So those of you who are around this area, that's a place to do it. But yeah,
Great guy too.
Yeah,
super nice.
Yeah, they're good people around staff and all. Let's see who.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a cool pig. Was that your pig, Billy? Just out of curiosity.
That was a cool pig.
You know what?
Is it hard to milk a goat?
It's not. It's not. Our goats, our ladies have been pretty easy. Even the first year that we started, I should say I started because I'm the milker. I'm the one that does it. And you know what? Goats are opportunists. They'll do anything for food. You know, it's just like, oh, there's food there. Cool. I did have a problem with one of our goats last year. She was what's called a first freshener. She had just kidded, had her first kid. And she was a little spaz. Her name is Pepper, so she's a little hot, like a jalapeno pepper. And she would jump. Her back feet would jump. As soon as you tried to milk her, she'd jump, and so her feet would land in the bucket. And I was so frustrated. I finally figured out taking dog leashes and tethering her legs to the milking stanchion so she couldn't stomp or jump. And then just after a few times with that, she got comfortable and she knew she wasn't going to get hurt. It was just different, you know. She was like, oh, okay, I'll settle down into this now. And now she knows her job. She's like, all right, I'm ready. I know that I'm going to get good food for you milking me, and they actually enjoy it. It's weird. It's kind of a neat.
Well, it's probably a relief too, to a degree, you know it.
Yeah.
Because I'd say they start getting kind of hefty.
Yeah.
And so you know, with that, is it something you had to research, or did you grow up milking goats, or?
I did not grow up milking goats. In fact, I had to learn how by watching a YouTube video.
Oh, that's cool. The YouTube University.
Totally. I'm like, am I doing this right?
But I'm trying.
And so there's this technique that you make little okays, right? So you grab right there and then you do this thing with your, So it's just, you kind of keep the pressure and you, you have to make that noise too.
That's great. That's great.
Wasn't there a Ben Stiller short with him milking a mouse or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just went there.
You know what? I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
I was like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Well, and you have some other subjects for us on the homestead front.
I do. So besides making chocolate goat's milk, I make our own mayonnaise here.
Ooh.
And a lot of people don't realize that they don't have to go to the grocery store to buy a lot of their products, right? So when I went to the grocery store, when this whole COVID-19 outbreak started, there were so many things that were just totally wiped out off of the shelf. Honey, peanut butter, mayonnaise, everybody was freaking out, right? So I'm like, you know, I'll have to remember how to make mayonnaise, because growing up in the restaurant industry, we would make our own sauces, hollandaise, and I remember mayonnaise being one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wash this off real quick, because I'm going to have to reuse this.
Oh, what's
Immersion blender.
Chocolate in your mayonnaise. Boom. Look at how you can't see us now, Mo.
Wait, where'd you go?
We're here. We're just now voices in your head.
Just voices in my head. All right, we're gonna move this out of the way. I feel like Martha Stewart today. I'm like, what?
You are a total Martha Stewart.
Wow. All right. So I've already measured my oil. There's a cup of oil, and I use avocado, non-GMO, organic avocado oil. And I'll tell you why I use avocado oil. It does not have a strong taste like olive oil does. A lot of the olive oils that I've used have had a very strong, odd taste when I've made mayonnaise, so I just choose not to do it. One of our fresh eggs, gathered yesterday. I'm going to crack that in there. Try not to get the shell in. We're going to let that rest in the bottom. Bloop. So super easy. You guys are going to be like, what? Why didn't we do this before?
So it was 1 egg.
Egg and 1 cup of oil of your choice.
Okay.
Right? We just let that egg settle, right? We don't want it to be all splashing. We want the ripples to stop. So I'm going to start on low. We're going to put it all the way down in the jar. All right. And then we're going to start it. See how it's getting all nice. And maybe we're going to start lifting it up.
Is that some mayonnaise there? Is that what I'm seeing?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I'm seeing mayonnaise before my eyes.
Right now. Is it mayonnaise?
Am I gonna be able to spread that on my sandwich?
Almost.
A tomato sandwich.
Oh, girl, you
Tomato
right.
sandwich.
Tomato with little sprinkling of some pepper,
Salt and pepper, mayonnaise.
I don't want so much salt. I'm ready for like just a light Himalayan. Maybe it'll not.
Totally gonna be some Himalayan action going in there. I'll show you what else I put in there. All right. So we just made what's called an emulsion. So really, that's all mayonnaise is an emulsion.
What?
All right.
I'm never buying my mayonnaise again.
Yeah, I can't.
So,
like yeah, that's good.
Himalayan.
See, there's your
Himalayan. Trader Joe's.
Yes,
right?
I knew it was happening. I knew it.
Right.
Oh.
This is Dijon mustard. Now I cheat. I buy the pre-prepared Dijon. I could make it myself, but just for quick. So I put about half a teaspoon in, and I know I'm not measuring it, but
Oh man, I'm excited about this. So you turn it into like a salad dressing right now?
No.
Well, lemon is one of the components in a really good mayonnaise.
But I didn't know mustard was in it. That's what I was surprised. I was like, I didn't know that.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit for flavor.
Okay, so I use half of a lemon.
Oh, this is amazing right now.
And 1 teaspoon of water. Okay, I'm going to just mix that in real quick.
Ooh. You know, I really am seriously going to start making my own mayonnaise. Are you kidding?
Now I'm going to take the immersion blender back in there.
This is way too quick.
There you go.
Cool.
Now this will thicken once it's refrigerated. So it's a little bit soupy right now, but I've noticed that 24 hours set later, it's perfect. It's just like store-bought, but better. It's fresh.
Your sandwich like it is right now.
Right? Make a sandwich. Make a cheese sandwich.
Fine.
How wonderful is that, right?
Looks like
tasty.
good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
There it
imagining
is.
it on bagels and everything.
Right?
Okay, tell me
Oh
how.
yeah,
Is it good? Oh,
it's really good. Yep.
So,
So
Warren,
basically, you just stick that in your fridge, and you've got mayonnaise for 2 weeks.
Dang.
that's awesome.
Fresh.
So I have a
Totally
question about the mustard.
It tastes a little bit bland. So the salt, the pepper, like you said, Donna, pepper would be a great addition.
Mm-hmm.
What other blending utensils can you use to make the mayo emulsion? You can use a mixer. It will just take longer. It will take about 15 minutes. So the technique of making an emulsion like this with a mixer would be, you would put the egg in and start the blending process, the mixing process, and then you would trickle the oil in little by little. You'd raise the speed up on your mixer to the point where the emulsion, you would see the change. So it's just a chemical reaction with the oil and the egg, the emulsion process. It just takes longer. So I've made it with duck eggs, with chicken eggs, with guinea fowl eggs. The one that I made with duck eggs was down at my mom's house, and I did the olive oil trickling into the mixer. It was a KitchenAid, thank goodness, so I wasn't there too many hands, you know. But there's various techniques. I mean, you go this. I believe mayonnaise was a French invention. Quiche and mayonnaise. Who knew?
Yeah.
Well, we should call it
food of the kings. Whatever.
Or how they
Right?
think that the French had freedom. They just changed it. I know it's not called French mayonnaise, but still.
I don't know either. And you can totally modify this. You can add vinegar instead of adding the lemon. I prefer old-fashioned mayonnaise. If you add vinegar, you can even add a little bit of sugar, and then you'll get that Miracle Whip without. So the things that are not in this: preservatives, corn syrup, soy. A lot of your mayonnaise that you buy has soy oil or canola oil, which isn't good for your body, especially if you're eating it a lot. So again, this is just kind of getting back to living simply, you know, empowering yourself to kind of do just simple recipes to save you money, to save you time. I mean, if you look at a price of mayonnaise for a jar like this, organic, this is a $5 jar of mayonnaise, if not more. We just made this for maybe 50 cents.
Oh, cool.
Right.
I mean, one of my chicken eggs is like 20 cents.
Yeah.
You know, and then the oil, which was meh. Yeah, so a fraction right there. Now, how to make this shelf stable, I'm not sure. This has to be refrigerated, and it will keep for about 2 weeks, but you do want to use it. And after 2 weeks, you want to discard it. So use it. And this is a great base for, like Donna said, salad dressings and things of that nature.
Right.
It's perfect. I'm going to go stick this in the fridge real quick.
So
it's hot.
Paleo or Whole30, that's approved. And the next mayonnaise at the store that's equal to that on paleo or probably not keto, but Whole30 would be Duke's mayonnaise is the one at the store. But that is the best.
Yep. And it's simple. It's healthy for you. It's good fats. You know, I just had my doctor's appointment today, and I mean, just with I'm not doing paleo or keto really, but I am, but not really. It's just the way I eat, and the good fats and the good nutrients. I don't eat a lot, but I eat quality over quantity. Right. Like before my diet, when it was crap and I was the starving artist, it was, you know, macaroni and cheese and ramen, and you wouldn't be so satiated eating those types of things. Man, I tell you what, a spoonful of mayonnaise on a sandwich, I don't have to have a big sandwich, and that will keep me for hours, and it's the good fats. It's kind of like, you know, the bulletproof coffee or the butter bomb coffee or whatever it's called in your neck of the woods. You know, it's just paying attention to how you consume things. I guess that's kind of my point with these simple recipes, is getting connected with your food. You don't necessarily have to grow it, but educate yourself as a consumer. Where's your food coming from? Are you doing yourself justice by what you're consuming? I'm a firm believer that food can be medicine. It can either harm you or it can do you well. So sugar for me is a poison. I have to do it in very small quantities and not often.
Right.
I mean, that
piece of a lot, about everybody, really.
Yeah. Right. And if you look at the labeling, sugar is in everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
in one form or another.
We're total sugar addicts. I mean, it's added to everything as a flavoring, and then you get the corn syrups and all those things, and preservatives added on top of it, and you're just like, no wonder we're sick and obese and having these diabetic problems and these other health problems crop up in our children. You know, it's just. Connect with your food. It's so important, even more so now that, you know, a lot of people are starting to experience an inflation in the grocery store.
Right. Oh gosh, yeah, it's insane.
What I used to buy for $100, it's more like now what I used to get for $100 is $150. That wasn't the case just a month ago.
Right.
So dollars are not going as far as they once did. So being resourceful, educating yourself. Where can I cut costs but still eat well, feed my family well? And I mean, these are simple things. Make it a game. I'm trying to get people to kind of engage in the fun of it. It's like, look what you can do. You know, yeah, you might not have fresh goat's milk, but what an adventure it would be to connect with your local farms.
Yeah, or to find it, and then maybe go visit it too. You can take your kids. Usually, we're pretty open to that as long as you keep your kids in check.
Absolutely. Well, I have to tell you, one of the so we actually work with a organization called Worldwide Organization of Organic Farms, WWOOF, WWOOF.org. Amazing. So we have found volunteers. Basically, it's kind of like a work stay program. We host them, and they come and volunteer their time and learn something.
That's cool.
You know, it's like totally. And though we don't have a lot of volunteers because we're pretty unique. Number one, we're not a market farm, and we're working on some crazy, you know, projects off grid and prepper type projects that people are just like, oh my God, these people are nuts. And it's like, well, yeah, but no, we're doing things that are unconventional. You know, solar energy projects. We're going to start building an earth home. We're going to build underground food storage vaults, you know, because they stay cool. It's, you know, learning about geothermal cooling and heating. Learning how to make a simple rocket stove. You know, the hoop house has been a neat experiment here in Texas, though we don't freeze. Controlled growing we need here. We need to have raised beds because we basically are on a rock base where we live outside of Austin. The topsoil is very, very thin, and it would take generations of regenerative farming in order to get that topsoil back here. That's part of the goat's job, by the way, is to provide all the compost. All the manure gets composted and put right back in.
They're weight, aren't they, with everything they provide?
Absolutely. I mean, not only that, they're great at fire abatement. So it's like brush clearing. That's going to be a job for them in the future. It's just thinking out of the box. So, you know, it's being your own resourceful person, individual. Don't rely on the hype of the media and the government telling you, and, you know, the food supply interruptions and things. Make connections with people. There are ways to live abundantly without having to be dependent on a system. Make your own system. I think that's the biggest thing with the punk rock homesteading movement is, you know, I'm not sitting here being an outlaw telling you to go riot in the streets. It's like, start your own riot, get a freaking goat and make your own damn milk, you know?
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, that right there, that is part of my revolution.
Yeah.
Getting away from the system. And, you know, it's like taking control of my own freedom, being responsible in that aspect. And who knew? It all just starts with a glass of chocolate milk and a conversation, right?
Right. We're kind of sad though. We should have got chocolate.
You know what I've been doing? I've been going out in my garden and getting a mess of spinach every morning.
My God, that's
and parsley and sauteing it up a little bit, and then having an egg with my spinach from my garden. So
that's
good.
so awesome.
Yeah.
So good for you, right?
Yeah.
And it's coming. Your hands got dirty in order to make that produce happen.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, the gift that the earth gives back is amazing. And it's like, it's so funny because I think I have some friends going, oh God, Warren's turning hippie. Yeah, I don't dye my hair funky colors anymore. I just don't have the time. And, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't have to perform anymore. You know, I'm taking care of goats and running around with chickens and watching bees make honey. Yeah, I don't need multicolored hair. I'm still punk rock. But the hippie thing, you know, it's like, no, I'm human. And so is everybody else. And all of us were meant to connect with the earth, right, Donna?
Yes, absolutely.
And we would like to say there's nothing wrong with hippies.
There isn't. I have a lot of hippie friends. I have a lot of hippie friends. It's not derogatory. In fact, I can feel one of them laughing right now going, you're a hippie, Warren. I'm like, shush. Okay, maybe just a little.
So are you going to have time to show us your goats and chickens and whatnot?
Yes. So let's see. How much juice do I have? So I'm running on a hotspot. We do not have internet here, so I have to use my cellular data. I'm at 11% battery. Let's see how fast we can make this happen. All right?
Hey.
Here we go.
All right.
So this is my post-apocalyptic kitchen food lab thing. I'm going to move a little bit slow. Right? So we have restaurant quality kitchenware, stainless steel tables, and let's see, we've got appliances back here, dehydrator, we've got brewing supplies, we've got a whole bunch of eggs down here. These are all getting cleaned tonight to go to market. All right, here we go. Outside. Oh, I hear them. Here we go.
Aww, check it out. I'm in love.
Uh-oh. There they go. They're scared.
Aww.
Hi, Stella.
Oh, Stella. I love the name. And how many goats do you have,
Look
Warren?
at Fancy Pants up there on the. Was that a trailer bed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. How adorable.
Totally just messing this whole thing up. Of ours was basically a 1968 tank command center for the Army.
Oh, cool.
We totally repurposed it and made it into a kitchen. That's the kitchen right behind me. That's the front of it.
It's my favorite kitchen ever.
And here's
Yes.
feeding time. So everybody's a little anxious. Here we go. You guys still there?
Yes.
We sure are.
Okay. Let's go. Mama, inside. Let's go. So I have to move real fast.
They're so cute.
Yeah, 33 goats. It takes me about 3 hours to feed everyone in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, it's no joke. Usually we have them graze on our 12 acres, but because the population has increased so much, they've eaten the trees all the way up to as high as they can reach. You can see this right here is an oak tree. They've eaten
Cool.
as far as they can stand. They
That's really
stand on their
neat.
tippy toes and balance like circus goats. It's hysterical. It really is. And so there's kind of a shot of behind us, right? And you'll see a crane back there. We've been building a big metal barn.
That's pretty neat.
Something going on here, right? Let's see, where else can we go before my battery dies? Ah! It's interesting doing this one-handed. Gonna put you guys down for a sec.
Looks like an A-frame goat house
It
behind
is.
it. There we go.
That's where the
Okay, so that triangular behind me, that's where our buck Zegan lives.
Oh, cool.
Lord Zegan.
That's funny.
This guy, he's like the heavy metal goat. He could be.
he is the heavy metal goat.
Wait until you see him. Come here, Z.
Are we muted?
No.
I can't really. Where are you?
Oh, look at him. Oh, look at his little face. I want goats.
Okay. He's. Oh, this one.
Honey, if you're watching, I want goats now.
Yeah, come here. This is little Torvy.
Oh.
She is a month and a half years old. I have to say it like that because she is the sweetest little thing ever. Torvy, say hi. Say hi. Hi, everybody. I'm a goat. So awesome.
How many babies do you have?
Chickens. I'm going to go into the chicken coop. I put everybody in early. Say hi, guys. Yeah, you going to get him? Okay. Yeah. Well, it's so hot right now. Like I said, it was like 105 today. Everybody's a little tired. Little tired.
Thank you for the tour.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm watching my battery so I don't like disconnect. I've got 10%.
What's the temperature?
Out in the sun right now, it's like 20 degrees cooler right here in the shade. It's nuts. Yeah, so Texas where what?
What's the temperature down there?
It was 100 today. I don't know what it is right now. It still feels pretty hot. Let's see. 97.
That's still wow.
97, but the heat index says feels like 102.
I believe it.
Yeah, I'll be getting up earlier tomorrow and the next day just to get stuff done before it gets too hot.
Yeah. What do you guys do for do you cool anything? Do you have how do you do that, or do you just let it go naturally with fans and whatnot?
So we cheat right now with air conditioners. Yeah, so the kitchen trailer has a unit in it that is very sleek. It's not one of your window units, so it doesn't eat up a whole lot of electricity. But it wasn't cheap. But we are tied into the grid with that.
unfortunately. So a lot of the solar batteries that we have it just won't take care of the air conditioning. I do live in a fifth wheel trailer, and that's tied into the grid as well. So we're working toward not being on the grid. So once we get, things set up to where we can use the geothermal cooling and heating, then we can eliminate the need for electricity for things like air conditioning.
That'll be cool. I can't wait to see some of that stuff. You will share it with us, right? You'll take.
Absolutely. Well, here's the deal. So with the WOOF organization, and one of our dear friends is coming in from LA who has a background in permaculture as well as building with Cal Earth. So he's actually built Earth Dome homes. So
cool.
We're going to do experiments here in using different building techniques. So absolutely we'll be documenting that. And this is where volunteerism comes in. If people want to learn, just drop us an email and say, hey, or go to the WOOF site, WWOOF. I think it's -USA.org, something like that. But it's a great organization to connect people who want to learn this type of lifestyle, connects them into farmers and other people that are actually living this, doing this. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of farms in your area that are, open for things like that. Yeah.
There's so many. It really surprises me in this area how many. Well,
we're in the farming country.
The earth is totally ready for anything. I mean, you could accidentally drop something.
Right.
You'll come outside. It'll be growing. Am I right?
Yeah, you guys have the sweet earth.
Yeah.
You guys are lucky.
Yeah, I agree. And my daughter and I was making an underground fire pit for cooking.
Right on.
So we were making that, and we were digging down. We got really interested in the layers we were seeing, and so we went way further down than we should have. But we got to this very soft sand. And you know that sand you can buy? It's like the stress sand.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Love it.
Yes, it was cool. Man. And I'm like, I wonder how many years that had been since that had seen the light of day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but it took before we got to it, the soil was like that. I mean, the good topsoil.
Right.
Amazing.
That is beautiful. I'm going to move away because my partner, James, is in the shop right now working with impact drills. It's like, what are they saying? What?
You talking about impact drill?
So I'm gonna go over here.
So I'm going to change the subject really quick for a minute. And I'm going to ask you a off the top question.
Okay.
Tell me who you're listening to music-wise right now.
Ooh. Who what?
What are you listening to music-wise right now?
Music-wise, oh my goodness. So we're listening to some Viking music. Okay. Heilung is one of them. Heilung means healing. It's amazing.
Cool.
We also, both James and I have a background in Gothic, industrial, punk rock, and all of that stuff. So we'll listen to things like Death in June, and of course 9 Inch Nails is a staple. Dogs barking.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're pretty eclectic, but yeah, lately with building, it's been a lot of like folk Viking inspired, the neo-Viking movement type stuff. There's a lot of really rad, cool sounds happening in that. And I mean, you would dig it, Donna, just based on all the Celtic music that you and I listened to, and the Rogues and everybody at the Ren Fair that we used to hang out with.
Did we listen to that when I was out there? I feel like you.
Yeah, totally. On my birthday.
Loved it.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
I could have swore I heard bagpipes when I called you earlier. Did I?
No, unless they were just.
Or they were either
hanging out with
they
some
were
bagpipes.
behind her or in my head. One of the two.
What? My dogs are yelling at me.
There's no reason to keep you any longer. We've already harvested your intellectual property. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, absolutely. You guys, I love sitting here and sharing what I can with you, even though sometimes it's really simple. Like I said, just trying to connect people to things that they may not have considered, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Getting back to the basics.
I'm going to go home and make mayonnaise. I don't know about you, but
I
that's
may
what
make
I'm
some
doing, 'cause
mayonnaise.
I'm out of mayonnaise, so now's the perfect time.
I have to go get avocado oil though.
I have.
See, it just takes.
I'm coming to your house. And get some avocado oil.
That's it. I just inspired you guys. That's all I want. Just
You
inspire
did.
somebody to do something other than, rely on the system.
Yep.
Oh, Klana Drama. That's right, Sanger. That was one of the bands that we used to listen to back in the day.
Cool.
Awesome.
Hi, Singer.
Well, we appreciate you coming on as always, Warren. And
thank you, ladies. I enjoy it.
Thank
It was
you.
fantastic.
Have a lovely evening.
You too.